Brian Crazy here, back with another video. You can't shee me. You can't shee me. You know what? Fuck this. Now, I bring it. JC is about to bring it. WrestleMania 27 predictions. Effing True Wrestling here. Brian Crazy, JC Styles, and we're back. WrestleMania 27 is coming to us from the Georgia Dome on April 3rd, 2011. There's 7 matches already booked on the card. We are also going to speculate after we announce the 7 matches on some things that we would like to see at WrestleMania this year. Some people that have not been included in the card yet. JC?
Yeah, slide over a little bit.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so Showcase of the Immortals, as we all know, where legends are made. Basically, the Super Bowl, NBA playoffs, World Series, World Cup, the Olympics, everything with Winter Classics, everything rolled into one for one night. You usually
let me take this out of you.
You have one night where you get fantastic wrestling, fantastic matches, and pretty all around a very great show for what you pay for your money.
Exactly. I do have to say though, I think the pay-per-view price is rising year after year, and I hope it doesn't take it out of grasp from some people that aren't going to be able to afford a $50 or $55 event, in coming years. But for 4 hours of wrestling entertainment, there's a lot of overhead costs for them to put on this production, so of course they have to pass those costs on to us, thusly the consumer. This is WWE's first pay-per-view under its promotional rights deal with Kmart. Kmart will be promoting all of the WWE pay-per-views for the rest of 2011. Should we jump right into the card?
Yes, first match of the night will be Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes.
Who's not so dashing anymore.
No. He also has a new song. If you got a chance to watch SmackDown.
I got to see. I got maybe 45 minutes into SmackDown so far, guys. That's why, unfortunately, I haven't brought a review yet. I know JC still has to watch the cage match himself. It was just, we went to wrestling last night. So if you haven't seen it, watch the review. I don't know, what's your thoughts on this? I think this is a culmination of a feud that they've been building for some time. I think we've seen Cody Rhodes really develop a mean streak, and we've even seen Dusty kind of turn kind of a heel in the WWE universe, of course.
Yes. I think it's they took something small and they built the feud with it. I mean, basically everyone in the world of Cody Rhodes is blaming Rey Mysterio, where typically before the match the knee brace was covered by a very heavily knee pad, and then because of his own stupidity, Cody Rhodes basically suffered a fractured face or a broken nose.
Exactly.
And because of his own stupidity.
And I mean, that's what happens when you want to try to play those games. You want to try to, go that extra step to, do the damage to your opponent or this, that, or the other, and guess what? It ends up costing you. It's like when the guy goes and takes the turnbuckle off the corner.
Yeah, and he winds up getting hit with it.
Exactly. Or who's the one that goes and gets the chair out from underneath the ring, but that's the one that gets cracked in the head with it. Whatever way you want to play out the scenario, you guys, I'm sure, understand our point. So, predictions for this match.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio?
Yes.
I don't know. Rey Mysterio's had such a good career so far, I wouldn't mind seeing Cody get a little bit of a push. He's been doing pretty well in this angle. He's been really selling the face, the whole angle. You have to say it.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna let this feud die at WrestleMania. I think they're gonna let Rey win and let the feud carry on for a couple more weeks.
That could be
maybe to Extreme Rules.
That could be quite plausible. I could see that happening. I could see, Rey Mysterio is starting to, there's a lot of talks of him starting to wind down his WWE career, but there's a lot of talks of maybe ending the current program with Cody Rhodes to move on to something with him, with Sin Cara, who will be debuting on SmackDown shortly. I would be happy to see either one win. I think it would be good for Cody Rhodes' career, and I think it would be good if Rey wins, but it would probably culminate this feud, and he can move on to the program with Sin Cara. For the next match of the night, this is a grudge match. It goes back several years in the making. We will see CM Punk versus Randy Orton.
Yes, if you go to the house shows over the next couple of weeks up until WrestleMania, you will see, most likely you'll probably see Orton, CM Punk, either in a tag match or a singles competition. This feud has been building up. It's also been heating up as the last couple of weeks on Raw. We've seen Orton take out the Nexus, and I think the real story behind McGillicuddy and Harris getting taken out of the equation so soon was because WWE sent them back down to development.
Well, unfortunately, WWE had less fourth quarter results stellar results come out for fourth quarter, and unfortunately, they're starting to get a little scared. WWE's been doing phenomenal. They need to keep the momentum going. I think to cut back now at this point, I think they have enough cash on hand. I think they need to keep this building, and we're sending more and more talent back down to FCW. It's not McGillicuddy or Joe Henning or Husky Harris, Rotundo's fault. It's the fault that there's not enough capital. So they knocked them down the development, thusly probably saying, hey, you guys can make less now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, we'll keep you on developmental at X figure versus up at the main roster at X figure. Yes. You know what I mean? But
predictions for the match?
God, I was really starting to like CM Punk when he was a commentator. I'm not gonna lie, but since he's done the new Nexus turn, I'm kind of went south on him again. You know what? Randy Orton's the heel that you love to hate, man. I hope he punts him in the fucking head.
Did you say Orton is the heel that you love to hate? I think you mean Punk.
No. Orton is the heel that you love to... I mean that you hate to love.
He's not a heel, he's a tweener.
He's a tweener, but you know what I mean. Orton's one evil bastard, man. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
I don't think he right now. I don't think he's actually a heel. I actually think he's
he
more
falls
towards the face.
No, he falls into the tweener category. You're right. No, you said it best. You said it best like a minute ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he gets such a huge pop, and there's no booze. So
yeah,
I kind of think.
But there's a lot of anti.
Well, in this storyline, he's the face.
Yeah. Does the storyline really need two faces? It could have a heel and a tweener. We've seen that before. I mean,
yeah,
shit.
Everyone's
we've learned from the best from wrestling history. I was just talking about JC in the house. We were talking about this. I'm watching old AWA tapes. You guys know Nick Bockwinkel. He was the biggest tweener heel in the world, and he worked a lot of other programs with heels. So I mean, it's possible. It's possible. But who do you want to see?
Orton. I want to see Punk get punted, and whether he's a tweener, a heel, or a face, I've always liked Orton.
I have been behind Orton since he started doing his little promo packages in 2002 after he was out on his injury. And yeah, I want to see Orton win. A lot of people say Orton's, starting to become stale. I think he's kind of reinvented himself. I'm tired of Michael Cole saying vintage Orton, though. The guy's used the moves for 6 months now. They're no longer vintage. They're part of his current moveset.
I'll take this match.
Sure.
So we have the mixed six tag match.
Mixed person 6-man tag.
Whatever. With Trish Stratus, even though she doesn't know it yet, the future Mrs. X JC Styles, Snooki, John Morrison, and we will see Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool. I'm sorry. You know what? You can leave whatever you want, comment-wise. JC, how do you like Snooki? Or she's not that attractive. Okay.
She looked pretty good on Raw. She looked pretty good on Raw. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought she was really attractive. I'm not gonna lie. Before that, I never thought she was really attractive. But on Raw, she looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You can dead that right there.
So, I don't. Even on the show, I mean, she looks very attractive. I mean, if you watch her from the first season. If you watch her on season 1 of the Jersey Shore, and then you see her on the very first episode of season 3, you can tell in her face that she lost a lot of weight. And even though I like Snooki, I think she's very attractive, and I'm hoping that if they do this angle right, they get Trish to train her and do something good with her. And there goes the match card. So. Predictions.
I'm gonna spark up a smoke, so I'm gonna switch sides with you, please, because the wind is carrying this way.
So, it's windy that way.
It's windy this way.
So, like I said, WWE's current thing is every year they always have a celebrity. This year they happen to go with the hottest trend out right now, and that's the Jersey Shore. Just like how TNA capitalized on the success of Jersey Shore and bought Robbie E. and Cookie, and they even went as far as bringing Angelina from the Jersey Shore.
Well, I think
TNA... And JWoww.
Well, they were successful with their one-time appearance with JWoww, but I think the program with Angelina is definitely not working. If they could train her as an actual wrestler, because she looked horrible out there. Snooki looked very good. I mean, she pulled Michelle onto the apron, smacked.
Yeah.
I mean, she smacked Vicky in the face. I mean, it was a good program.
Yeah, I definitely want to see, I'm all for John Morrison. I like watching John Morrison wrestle. I'm also starting to, like Ziggler, but I definitely want to see Snooki.
I do have to say,
pin one of the
Ziggler was quite impressive last night.
Yes. I definitely want to see Snooki fist pump all over Michelle McCool and Leo. So that's my prediction. Snooki, Trish, and John Morrison.
I'm hoping to see John Morrison and Dolph Ziggler really mix it up. I'm hoping to see some real good competition. I think that's where we're going to get a lot of the high flying. I think that's where we're going to get a lot of the technical wrestling. I think straight out pretty much, brawl we're going to see between Trish and Snooki and Team Laycool. So, I kind of hope that, the faces win this match. I mean, I do like Laycool and I do like Ziggler, but yet again, Trish is one of my favorite divas of all time, and I've really started to become, more of a Morrison fan.
Yeah.
I really wasn't on the Morrison bandwagon. For a long time, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, wow, he's a phenomenal wrestler. This wasn't so hip on the gimmick, but you know what?
Last night.
Not even until last night. In the last year, he's just become so much more of a person. You know what I mean? And I'm going to switch sides with you again, because this is going towards you. It's like, we're like in a cyclone here, that's what it feels like. The wind's going this way and this way and this way, but whatever have you, that's not important. Next match, I'll introduce it and then we'll talk about it. We are going to see Jerry the King Lawler go against the so-called voice of the WWE, Michael Cole, who has Jack Swagger as the presidential trainer. We are supposed to see JBL as the special guest referee, but due to intervention by someone Steve Austin, he is going to be the special guest referee in this WrestleMania 27 bout.
Yes. And there's speculation that Jimmy Hart's going to be announced for King's manager.
There is a lot of speculation. It was tweeted by the Honky Tonk Man, but the Honky Tonk Man, he's also speculating that somebody's going to jump ship from TNA to WWE before WrestleMania. So I don't know if he's just trying to cause problems, but I thought the Honky Tonk Man was in pretty good standing with the WWE.
Well, he's saying if he's jumping from TNA to WWE, I think that would mean that it's pretty good standings.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
No, but I mean, why is he like giving away their plans?
I don't know. But
that's more or less what I was thinking.
Maybe he doesn't like TNA, or he doesn't like what TNA is currently doing with Bischoff and Hogan. But that's the topic for another video. This is WrestleMania 27.
I made that video. Check it out.
I hope Jerry the King Lawler beats the holy shit out of Michael Cole. He deserves it. Michael Cole. Plain and simple.
And I'm really hopeful that we get to see JR come back. If JR comes back for any of the matches,
that should be a stipulation. If Jerry the King Lawler wins, Michael Cole has to leave Raw. Bring JR back.
That would be sweet. But I don't know if JR can handle the traveling schedule. But I know JR does want to call the match between Triple H and Hunter later in the card. So we'll talk about that when the time comes. I'm hoping Stone Cold just, causes hell, takes out Swagger, helps take out Cole. We see Lawler whoop his ass. JBL, is he going to have a part in this? Is he going to show up at WrestleMania? He wanted a WrestleMania moment. Yeah. He said it. Plain and simple. He wants a WrestleMania moment. What do you think about that?
Who are we talking about now?
Do you think JBL is going to show up?
No. Don't care about JBL.
You don't think he's going to show up?
Nope. Don't care.
Really?
Simple. Plain and simple. Stay retired. Stay in Texas. Go do your New York thing. Stay the fuck out of the ring.
Now, if he shows up,
I can understand leaving the WWE to pursue other wrestling, or maybe leaving the WWE to pursue something in entertainment. But just to leave the WWE for the sake of, because you lost to Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 26 and the 22nd.
He left the WWE because he became very successful in the financial market.
Yes.
He's a very respected financial analyst who speaks on Fox News.
But still.
I have a lot of respect for JBL, so.
But still, I never really liked JBL, so stay the fuck out there.
That's his opinion.
Jerry the King Lawler all the way.
That's why we're a collab channel. We get to bring in the best of both worlds, guys.
But then again, I have a feeling we'll see Brian Lawler get involved and have him turn on his father.
If we see JBL, Brian Lawler, Stone Cold, Swagger, I mean, this is going to be one clusterfuck of a match that could get really, really wild.
But not even JBL. I don't even think JBL should even be booked. He's not officially part of the WWE alumni nor roster.
Oh, but you got to think JBL has been in the WWE longer than Jack Swagger sure has been. I mean, he really, actually. No, I think he came in after Stone Cold. No, he came in before Stone Cold did it as the Blackjack Bradshaw.
No, Austin's been in the WWE since like 94.
95.
No, 94.
No, because he was in WCW, then he went to ECW and he did the whole skits there, and then remember he came in like 95, then he won the 96 King
I
of the
was
Ring.
still in New York when he debuted.
We're gonna have to check that out, guys. If any of you know off the top of your head, leave a comment. We will research this post result prediction show. Excuse me. Next match is for the World Heavyweight Championship, and we will see Edge defend against. I'm gonna get it right here, right now. Who I want to win. Alberto Del Rio with the man, almost World Heavyweight Champion, Ricardo Rodriguez.
A lot of people are saying that this might be Edge's last WrestleMania and Edge's last match. I like Edge, and all for him if he wants to retire early while he's still got his health and he's healthy as a horse and he has nothing wrong with any part of his anatomy or brain.
Well,
I don't blame him.
But that's what JBL did, and you were just dissing that.
Yeah, but the thing is though, JBL left. Edge has been in the business. He's never left the business.
JBL was in the business for a very long time.
Yeah, but JBL.
How many nights did he entertain as his
But JBL left. Edge has been in the business since he debuted. The only times he's taken off is when he was injured.
And okay, when did Edge debut?
Edge debuted in 1998. No, I think it was late 97.
It was either late 97, 98. He debuted. Okay. JBL as Bradshaw definitely debuted a little bit before that. Okay, Bradshaw only retired 2 years ago.
Edge stayed loyal to the WWE.
Bradshaw was loyal too.
Yeah, but he left because he became very successful in the stock market.
Yeah,
that's not staying loyal to the company.
WWE published a book about him in the stock market.
Yeah, well, he was still a wrestler.
That is correct.
But he left,
and then
took time away from the ring to pursue financials.
Yes, because he got out.
I can understand he was going to open up his own wrestling company.
He got out before his brain was shot. Joey, sometimes the world is not all wrestling.
Well, anyway,
I love wrestling, but sometimes you have to pursue other ventures. I mean, come on.
I can understand Edge wanting to retire. I mean, the guy's had numerous injuries through TLC matches. I mean, if you watch his DVD, he explains everything of what injuries he suffered at what TLC match. Achilles heel ruptured.
Oh yeah.
I think he broke his neck.
Edge has been through it all, and I think the Edge story is one of success. I mean, he started off
as a mid-carder.
Exactly. No, not even a mid-carder. I mean, Gangrel was a mid-carder. I mean, he was kind of paired with Christian, and they were kind of low-card for a little while. Then they gained the mid-card status. Then they kind of got mixed in with the whole, mystery angle. Then the Brood broke off separately. Then we kind of started the new Brood. That's when we started seeing the new Brood. That's Matt and Jeff Hardy now. We started seeing the real feuds between them develop, and that's when Edge and Christian really became as successful. And then after the whole split.
That was a tag team. Edge and Christian was a tag team. And
then once we saw the split, Edge went up here, and somehow Christian got stuck down here. And me and JC agree, because this isn't a bash on WWE, but they don't like that he went to TNA, plain and simple.
Yeah, but if they would have gave him the time of day to showcase his talents, he wouldn't have jumped ship and gone to TNA. I mean, he said it on TNA the night he debuted. He didn't want to be in a company where they were seeing a grown man pulling another thing out of a grown man's asses, meaning when JR had to have the colon surgery. And I can understand Christian doing that.
Young in the hand.
Yeah, and then he wanted to go and pursue wrestling out somewhere else where he was going to get the opportunities that he didn't get in the WWE. And look, TNA made him NWA champion no more than 3 to 4 months later.
Do have to agree. He was a great NWA champion.
He was fantastic in the TNA, but back to Edge versus Del Rio.
What do you want to say?
I want to see Edge retain, but The numbers are with Del Rio because of the Royal Rumble winner. I mean,
the Royal Rumble winner. He's got Ricardo, and now he's got Brodus Clay.
But the thing
and
is,
Brodus Clay is incredibly talented.
Del Rio. This is the thing, and I'm gonna say this. I'm quoting myself. If Del Rio wants to prove to me that he's world championship material, he needs to win this match on his own without Del Rio, without Ricardo, and without Brodus Clay, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. He looks like a Rhino meets King Kong Bundy.
I was thinking King Kong Bundy meets Bam Bam Bigelow,
but he doesn't. If he wants to cement himself as world champion, he's got to win the match on his own without no outside interference.
But you've accepted Miz as world champion with all kinds of outside interference.
Yes, because the fact is that after last night, we've seen that the Miz can bring it without needing outside help.
Yeah, the Miz can bring it, but to be honest, Del Rio is 10 times more talented competitor.
Yeah, but on live television, they're not really doing much because almost all of his matches...
Unfortunately, I've talked about this, that the world is bigger than the WWE Universe, and that's such a shame that some of you guys don't know that out there. And I'm not saying that it's an insult for trying to make people sound superior or anything.
I like that.
But guys, check out other promotions. Okay, some of these indies might not be up your alley. You might like the higher production value.
But right now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have what it takes, but he's got to prove to me that if he's gonna win, if he wants to go around calling himself world heavyweight champion, he's got to beat him on. He's got to beat Edge on him at WrestleMania.
I think it would be best for him, and I think it would be best for...
Miz cashed in Money in the Bank on a hurt Randy Orton, but the fact is that...
That's the nature of Money in the Bank.
That's the nature of Money in the Bank, and two, if he didn't win Money in the Bank, what really shot did the Miz have at winning the WWE Championship? What chance did he have?
Unfortunately, he didn't, so I do agree.
I do want to see Del Rio win, but I also don't want to see Edge lose the title because... So, if Del Rio wants to cement himself as world champ, he has to win out on his own. I mean, he's a fantastic athlete. He's done amazing things in the Mexican wrestling down in Mexico. But unfortunately, this is WWE, and if he wants to be world heavyweight champion and he wants to go around holding that belt,
I think it's pretty obvious that the deck is stacked against Edge, and we're going to probably see outside interference. I mean, Brodus has been getting involved in everything, and so Ricardo has since last August when Del Rio debuted. So I think that's pretty much the facts.
Yeah, but you're going to have somebody win on outside interference at WrestleMania?
Plenty of times people have won on outside interference at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but not winning the title for the very first time, though, is what I'm trying to get. I mean, Del Rio's a fantastic athlete. I just want to see him win the title. I want to see him win it on his own.
Oh, I would like to, too, but I think if we look back historically, I'm sure there's some time that somebody...
And it's WWE booking, too. And WWE booking, if they're going to book Del Rio to win the title on outside interference, they're fucking retarded. Because you're going to lose out on the potential great match because you want to have outside interference and have him win the title.
Alright. I mean... You definitely made your opinion. I made mine. I think we're going to see it. He doesn't want to see it. I don't want to either. So we're going to move into it. Miz versus Cena for the WWE Championship.
This could go either way. It is definitely phenomenal.
It has been a phenomenal build. It could go either way. We could see John Cena pick up a win in WrestleMania, which I have a feeling is more than likely. Or we can see Miz retain, which... It could happen. That's the thing that's a little scary, I guess.
Like I said, as of right now, given the circumstances, The Miz is playing the heel role 100% to the team.
The Miz has cemented himself as the ultimate heel. He has done a phenomenal job at that. I do have to say that the character build has been phenomenal. I think actually taking Riley out of his corner, directly, indirectly he's still getting involved. I think it's kind of cemented the Miz as even more of a heel because he's standing on his own 2 feet. And I think there's a chance Miz could win. That's the scary part about this. Plus, there's a very good chance Cena could too.
He's never going to see this video. But I stand behind The Miz after I seen him last night, and he can wrestle. When we seen him win the tag titles with John Cena a couple of weeks ago on Raw, he did fantastic up until when he screwed Cena over.
Yeah, he screwed Cena over. It's the point of saying that he won them and John Cena lost them. That's what he wanted to be able to say.
But still, when they won him, he was fantastic. Last night, he wrestled and he bought a fantastic game. So
both.
I don't understand.
He was booked for 2 matches,
Yes.
and he brought a fantastic game both times.
And what I don't understand is why isn't WWE booking him and say, hey, Miz, you're the WWE champion, go out there and wrestle. Win on your own without outside interference. It's. I want to see John. I don't want to see John Cena win it. I want to see the Miz retain because I think that they spent all this time actually making an attempt to build up the Miz in these last couple of months, and if they're gonna have him just lose it to John Cena right away, I mean at least make the match interesting.
Well, I mean the Miz has held the title for several months now.
Now, here's the most important thing though: if the Miz wants to quote unquote go out there and say he is the must-see champion of this generation. He has to go out there and he has to silence his critics, win the match by himself.
I agree. Because John Cena can win the match by himself.
Yes.
And we'll see it happen. That's the shame. John Cena might have 5 moves, but the thing about it, just like Hulk Hogan, you know what all 5 of them are.
Yes.
And you know what? After seeing Cena live last night, my opinion changed. Yeah, I did the little gag at the beginning of the video, but you know what? At the end of the day, Rock still is my favorite wrestler. So,
yeah, I think he's everybody's favorite wrestler.
I mean, Rock and some well, I mean, Rock. Oh, it's tough, man, because
Rock,
I love Austin.
Triple H, Taker, Shawn Michaels were the 5 top wrestlers in the Attitude Era.
Exactly. Those are 5 top wrestlers. So.
The match everybody wants to see. We don't even need the match card because we know what the last of the match is. The must-see match of the year. WrestleMania has bought the main event every year. Undertaker versus, and this year it is going to be Triple H versus the Undertaker.
Well, it hasn't always been the main event.
Well, just the main event the last 2 WrestleManias.
Yes, because you got to think, if you think back at like 15, he was booked at the middle of the show, and they didn't even mention a streak.
Yeah.
Not really. Well, they probably said something about it, but they didn't. It wasn't hyped up like it is now.
No holds barred. Triple H is the cerebral assassin. He is the game. He is the man in the WWE right now.
Well, I think Undertaker said it very well. If he can be the Undertaker, he will be the King of Kings.
Yes.
He will be the game, and there will be no disputing that. It'll be written in stone for future generations to read that Hunter Hearst Helmsley on April 3rd, 2011 defeated the Dead Man, the Last Outlaw, the Undertaker at the Georgia Dome. And oh my God, he buried him alive.
No. So, but this match, we've been triple. I'm a Triple H fan. I've always have been.
I'm gonna check the time.
Yes, I've been a Triple H fan. Always have been. I enjoy watching the guy wrestle. He could bring it on the mic, comedy-wise, seriousness-wise. In the ring, he brings it 100% all the time. And you know what, guys? Say what you may say. You want to see Taker win. I have a feeling this end of the year we're gonna see the streak broken. I mean, it's no holds barred and it's Triple H.
I think Triple H is done, and I think Undertaker is gonna silence him, and I think we might get to see the Undertaker go one more time, because I don't care what anybody says. Cena supposedly is the biggest straw. The Undertaker is the biggest straw. You have to agree. The Undertaker is the biggest straw still.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as that, because right now, I mean, Triple H took time off because of the injury, and Undertaker took time off. But the thing is, the Undertaker comes back, wrestles at WrestleMania, then we don't see him until SummerSlam.
Well, the Undertaker's in rough physical shape, and when his rotator cuff ripped, he delayed getting it repaired.
Okay, what about WrestleMania 25? He came back 3 times in 1 year. Then he didn't see him until fucking WrestleMania, when right before the Royal Rumble, or after the Royal Rumble, when you see Shawn Michaels would say, "I want the streak."
Well, he was booked for a long program last year with Kane until he got injured. That's why what happened at the Mania Live match, and that's why the Nexus got involved. You gotta think there's multiple reasons for some of the backstage happenings of what's influenced, the whole climate in the WWE for the last 6 months. But you want to see Game. I want to see Taker. Speculated matches? We got like maybe 3 minutes left.
To be honest, I really don't want to do the speculation matches, because I just think that they were thrown out there with the tournament events, the way the storylines were at that point.
Well, these aren't even. Well, what do you think?
I think the only match that we should actually really cover that people really, really, really want to see is Money in the Bank.
Well, not just Money in the Bank. How about the United States title? How about Sheamus and Daniel Bryan with his rematch?
If they have Money in the Bank, that ties up at least like a good quarter of the mid card, and I'm pretty sure they're going to throw Bryan in there.
There's a very good chance, but personally, there's 7 matches on the card. I want to see a 10, 11 match WrestleMania. It's 4 hours. There's going to be a lot more than 7 matches.
Well, you got to think that the Undertaker match is probably the Undertaker Triple H is probably going to fight up at least a half hour to 40 minutes.
I mean, I don't know if the Undertaker can go that long. To be honest, in the shape that I've heard that he's in. But United States title. This isn't too much here, guys. So, United States title, Intercontinental title, the Divas Championship, the Tag Team Championship. I'm hoping to see.
I don't think we'll see the Tag Team Championship because there's not really any tag teams to really go for.
Why couldn't Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater go against Santino Marella and Kozlov? They're a very big draw. You like them or hate them, they're a big draw. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean that 200 million people go. You know.
I don't really know. I mean, I don't see.
Vince McMahon sees that as a success.
I could see Money in the Bank over Santino Kozlov Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, there's been no talk of it. I think this is the year Money in the Bank won't be included.
Well, I don't know then. I mean, I really don't want to see. I mean, I like Justin Gabriel and I don't really like Heath Slater. I like Justin Gabriel. But to be honest, I really don't know. I mean,
I want to see the US title. I want to see the IC title.
Santino Kozlov versus Gabriel and Slater. I mean, I would rather see them throw a tag team together and put on a decent match. You know, I mean.
Why? They've showed that they can put on a decent match.
Bring back a classic tag team or something.
Dude, Santino and Kozlov did phenomenal at the house show last night, and I think they can do this.
They did
it's
phenomenal.
WrestleMania, and they can do good.
Yeah, but
I gotta check the time one more time.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, they're gonna book Santino and Kozlov as a joke at WrestleMania. So, I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, I'd rather see a solid tag match than a comic tag match.
Well, just to run through it, I hope Daniel Bryan does regain his U.S. title at WrestleMania. I hope we see Kofi defend. I hope we see Eve defend. And I hope we see the Tag Team Champions defend. So, guys, what do you have for closing statements?
Closing statements, I think it looks like right now it's a stacked WrestleMania card with just the matches that we announced on the actual match card. And
7 announced matches.
7 announced matches. I think that's stacked.
The last 4 were speculation, but 7 matches is enough to fill 4 hours.
No, but I'm pretty sure that at the last minute they're going to wind up throwing some feuds together to have a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, U.S. title, Intercontinental title. They're going to build it around the championships. It's going to be a night of champions.
I don't know.
WrestleMania is a night of champions. It's
I could see Ted DiBiase being maybe showcased because he hasn't really been. He's been on a losing streak a little bit as of late, so maybe see him and maybe go for the Intercontinental Championship.
That would be phenomenal. But unfortunately, guys, that's all we got.
We're out of time, so we'll see you later on hopefully with Q&A. If not, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning or Monday night for Monday Night Raw review.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you over the weekend with Q&A. Thanks for watching.
How many minutes was that match altogether? Oh, the video altogether?